So, we're back. If you recall, Redline was attacked, basically, for lack of better words. He had a fight with an unexpected opponent, and it did not end well, unfortunately. He is probably in a coma, and Xander and Bruce are left wondering what happened. Well, Xander, Bruce, Drayden, and Bucky are left wondering what happened because, like, why would the commissioner allow this to happen? But we're about to find out why. Um, Before that, though, we also, well, actually, after that, we also had a little bit of an argument between Xander and Bruce about basically what happened. And Xander accidentally said something that he probably didn't mean, relating to the whole situation where Bruce probably should have let Xander win at some point, or probably by now, because otherwise, well, none of this would have happened, according to Xander, had Bruce allowed Xander to win. Of course, Bruce has his own reasonings for this. And unfortunately, whatever these reasons are, Bruce did not react well to it. And he unfortunately, in a fit of rage, I suppose you could say, took it out on Xander. But yeah. Anywho, we're about to find out a little bit of what all this, where this came from. But yeah, so fair warning, as you have no doubt seen with the warning that I literally just read, and with the previous update, things are gonna be still a little bit violent. People will get hurt in this update. That's all I can tell you. So just be prepared, okay? And this time, for the person that did not heed my warning, be prepared. Like, really. Anyways, so without further ado, let us continue Undefeated. Or I guess you could say, let us begin round 8. I've been here before. Different circumstances. I haven't been back in this house in a long time. I wanted to forget what this feels like. I thought that I had the chance. But this time, this is worse. You didn't deserve this. Not you. And not Red. I never thought that I would grow up to be a killer. I was a pretty happy kid. Stupid, but happy. That's probably better than the alternative. I wised up quick, though. Happy solstice, sweetie. Ugh, this one. This one's special. It's huge. Your father wanted to surprise you. I always thought that big boxes like that were just some fake shit that you saw on TV. It was way too narrow to fit a puppy inside of it, and definitely too small to be a bike. Oh. A BB rifle. Cool. Yeah? You and me can go hunting sometime. I'll take you out back, and we can shoot a few rounds. Okay. It's every 10-year-old's dream to kill animals. Thanks, Dad. Who the fuck gets their kid a gun for solstice? But I have to fake it. What do you say? Thanks, Dad. Maybe now you'll quit getting picked at school. God, that's fucked up. I don't know how to respond to that even now. Yeah. They talked about something while I turned on the TV. The local news had a huge church choir singing carols. It was beautiful. harmonies flowing in and out, bubbling beneath the surface while the melody soars above it all. If I didn't know any better, I'd probably have been moved to tears. I wanted to sing in the choir like that, maybe even do it on TV. I could get rich and famous, then my parents would be proud of me. Dad got off the couch and started for the door. I'm gonna get bundled up. Let's go shoot some cans. I guess I must have been distracted by the choir. I didn't even look at him. Hello? You there? Huh? Repeat what I just said to you. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't hear you. Okay, if you're gonna get sassy with me, then I'll just take this. His claws were sharper than mine, nearly broke the TV remote. I'm sorry. No TV for a week. Dad, go get your clothes on. I'm gonna teach you how to shoot. He took one last look at the choir and then grumbled. Can't believe they got men singing like that on TV. Maybe I was as stupid as I thought I was. 'Cause even then, I knew something was wrong with me. It took me a while to figure out what I was feeling. I mostly remember anger, though as a kid, it was more sadness than anything else. But not in front of him. Never ever in front of him. I don't know why this one stuck in my head the most. Wasn't even the worst solstice. At least Dad gave me the TV remote back a few days later. Wait, no. He didn't even do that. Mom had to sneak it out of his liquor cabinet. Dad just completely forgot. Lucky for us, too, because we both would have gotten in trouble if he remembered. She was kind of like my partner in crime, always helping me sneak around Dad so that I didn't get in trouble for stupid shit. Maybe she babied me. I don't know. But that was just another day where I came running to her to solve my problems. She protected me. I remember Mom always wore this big fluffy purple bathrobe. Dinosaurs don't exactly get the soft daily comforts other people get. But every morning she made breakfast in her bathrobe and hugged me while I got ready for school. Maybe I just needed something soft to hold. She and Dad never could get me to stop clawing myself up whenever I got nervous. But whenever I felt that fleece robe, shit just calmed me down right away. My blankets had holes. I kept tearing them up in my sleep. But I never once dared to ruin that bathrobe. When I was 12, I asked for one of my own to wear. One argument, one black eye, and 1 week off school later, I didn't want one anymore. It got harder to tell what would set him off. Eventually, I just gave up and stopped wanting things. Hi, honey. Oh, right. The recital. All of us kids got lined up at the wall after performing so our parents could come pick us up. I wasn't the only kid without both of their parents, but there were a lot more moms than dads here. Rough. My mom took a while to get to me. Not really her fault. There were a lot of people, and I was all the way at the end of the line. I got used to being the black sheep at this point. The other kids were scared of me. Though, in their defense, I was pretty big for a middle schooler, so... Mom gave me a hug. It's nice to see someone that likes me for a change. Did you like it? You did wonderful, Brucey. I thought that I did pretty well, too. I was the only bass, so I laid low underneath the rest of the voices. Not many people really noticed. It's important to have a good foundation to support everyone else. Was Dad able to come? Oh, honey. It was obvious how my dad felt about me joining a choir, but seeing any proof of it just made me sad. And then when I hit puberty, I stopped getting sad and started getting angry instead. Dropped out of choir. Started getting into fights. Principal recommended that I get an outlet for my anger, so Dad signed me up for MMA lessons. I think he was finally proud of me. Not that I was doing any of that shit for him. I just needed to hit something, and leaving holes in my walls at home would probably lead to some trouble. Mom wasn't exactly stoked about me joining a gym, but I don't know what to tell her. By 15, I was already about my dad's size. It's tough going through school with the dexterity and social grace of a 45-year-old alcoholic. 3 years later, I was on track to barely graduate high school. I still hadn't finished growing, and even though the MMA lessons were going well, I wasn't exactly a desirable sparring partner. Whatever. I figured something was gonna change soon. Welcome home. Hi. I was worried about you. Did you walk home? It sounds like it's really coming down out there. Yeah, I missed the bus, and I'm soaked. Detention again? Yep. Are you going to fill me in on what happened this time? I don't want to piss you off. Well, just get dried off before your father gets home. I don't want him to. What? I. Nothing. Don't worry about it. I wish that she'd at least look at me. For fuck's sake, even Dad looked at me when he thought about beating my ass. Oh, right. I need you to sign my report card. Just leave it at the counter. Well, I don't want to forget it, so you should just sign it now. I'll sign it later. Go dry off. Why the fuck won't she look at me? Mom. I grabbed her shoulder as gently as I could, but she flinched away. She turned to face me. Where is he? Bruce, honey, it's not. Where the fuck is he? It was an accident. I should have seen it coming sooner. He hit me whenever I pissed him off, so when I saw her with a black eye, it all just sort of clicked. And I guess, looking back, I should have done a better job taking care of her in this moment. I could have held her and comforted her. But turns out, I'm really good at being angry. After all, I'm just a big fucking monster. The door slammed. My heart jumped, but Mom looked horrified. I told myself that I would end this right now. You got 10 seconds to get the fuck out. I know you aren't talking to me like that. Honey, please, let's just talk. You aren't gonna put another hand on her. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Move. He brushed past me and started walking up to his bedroom, bottle of beer still in his hand. He reeked of alcohol, like usual. Hey! I followed him up and tried to pull his shirt back. Get the fuck out! Fuck off! Bruce, honey. I don't remember exactly what happened. Dad fought back. He hit hard. I lost control. I don't know. Jesus, fuck, Mom! Mom tried to come up and defuse the situation. In our scuffle, she got hit. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was Dad. She fell down the stairs and hit her head on the corner of the railing. She was bleeding bad. She wasn't moving. I don't know why I turned my back to him. As soon as I did, he kicked hard enough to send me tumbling down after. My body fell next to hers. I was too mad to notice that I broke a rib. There you go. Mama's boy gets what he wants. You feel good about making a scene, shithead? This is my house. I don't know where you got the attitude, but it's about time that you start showing me some respect. He stumbled down the stairs, mumbling. Stupid bitch trying to get in my way. Gah! He tried to kick her body. I got in the way. And he just kept kicking. I don't know what she did to deserve it. Or maybe he decided that I was the better target. Who knows? I'm fucking useless. I'm a shit son. Everyone's scared of me. I have no friends, no prospects. I've been training for years and I can't even keep my mom from getting hurt. Every kick into my ribs only made the break worse, but I knew that I couldn't move. I made a promise that this stops now. He's not going to hurt her any longer. After a while, he must have gotten tired or bored. I don't know. He smashed his bottle over my head for good measure. At least my thick skull is good for something. Don't ever pull that shit in my house again. Got it? I was still clinging to my mom. Kinda hoped that he'd just leave us to die. I remember tasting a lot of blood. I didn't raise my son to be a filthy fucking faggot. Please just leave us alone. We'll leave. We'll do whatever it takes. Please. If you didn't try to start shit, none of this would have happened. You killed her. She's always trying to cover your ass. Maybe you should have listened to her. Too late for that now, huh? If you didn't move, I wouldn't have hit her. She'd be standing here, crying and begging me to let you go. It's your fault she's dead. That's the one that did it. No more laying around getting kicked. I got up and tackled that piece of shit to the ground. Dad knew how to fight. Not well, and especially not well drunk, but he knew enough. The broken bottle he still had did some damage too. Does it matter? None of this matters. Mom's dead, and it's my fault. Go 2 for 2, right? Might as well let out some of this anger I let build up inside of me. He put up a fight, but I kept pushing. Eventually got him pinned up against the wall. I wrapped my hands around his neck and strangled him. He swung, stabbed, clawed at me, but nothing he did could stop me. I looked him in the eyes as he died, and I told myself, you will never hurt me again. What a load of bullshit. I can't get a fucking day away from hearing your voice, Dad. Everything you said to me, everything you did to me, everything you taught me. You broke me. You made me this way, this massive, irredeemable, unlovable monster. I never thought that I would grow up to be a killer. But maybe it's in my blood. My head hurts. My neck too. Hurts to breathe, which kinda sucks considering how much I need air after Bruce. I hear someone sobbing before I can fully register where I am. Please, please, wake up. Bruce? Even saying that fucking hurts. I cough, which proves to be even more painful. Holy shit, Zan? My vision blurs, then clears as I start to breathe more. I see Bruce, hunkered over in front of me. Bruce? I don't even have time to fully see what happened when Bruce pulls me into him in a hug. He's sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Xander. He's so big and heavy, but right now, he's trying to be careful not to lean on me too much. Every sob shakes the both of us. I wrap both my arms over his back, or try to at least, and hold him as he cries. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am too. And I'm tired of fighting. If Redline were here, he would find a way to lighten the mood. But he's not. All we have right now is us. We hold each other and let our sorrows find its home. Wait, that was you? Bruce doesn't look at me. After I woke up, he kept apologizing. I was only on for a few seconds, according to him. We moved to his bedroom. I figured getting away from the room that he strangled me in would help us get his mind in order. We sat down and Bruce told me everything. About his parents, about the reason that he did what he did. He was shaking the whole time. I remember hearing about that when I was like 9. My parents couldn't imagine something like that could happen the next town over. They had this weird fascination with telling me about gruesome deaths. Pretty fucked up for a kid to hear that. Well, it's pretty fucked up for a kid to have to go through that. I'm so sorry, Bruce. It's fine. I mean, fuck, it's not. But, you know, tragedy plus time. I don't think it's very funny. Yeah. Maybe another 10 or 15 years. When I heard about that, I thought that only the dad had died. He sighs through gritted teeth. Yeah, he did. Mom actually made it through. But she was different. I don't blame her. He fucked her up bad. I always heard them yelling and everything. But I guess that I thought that's just what adults did. That they'd all be better after that. Obviously, I know better now. He takes a second before continuing. Mom's alive, but I can't see her anymore. Took her to the hospital. She was silent the whole time. Like she was just waiting for it to end. Anytime we talked, she'd barely respond at all, never looked me in the eye, flinched when I moved too quick. She was scared of me. And for good reason. I looked too much like my dad. So I promised that I'd never put her through that again, and I left. I don't know what to say. She's living with a family friend. I send them money for rent and things every month, so she doesn't have to work. I'm sorry. Bruce sniffles and wipes his eye. It's the least that I could do for her, after everything that she tried to do for me. He's providing for the only person that's cared for him, and he can never see her again. Maybe it's his own form of penance. Bruce clears his throat. Anyway, I got off on self-defense. Police saw the state of the house and state of my mom. The scratching all over the walls helped my case, which, hey, point for me, right? His claws scrape against his arm, and it looks like the skin is about to break. I gently place my hand over his, and the scratching stops. Sorry. So, you and your mom survived. How did you get by? I did what I do best, I guess. All right, everyone. That is another win for Rex the Reaper. That's 5 in one night. If you bet against him, you're just playing stupid. But maybe, just maybe, your luck's about to turn around. What? I thought you said that I'd only have to do 5 fights tonight. Is there anyone out there that is brave enough to take down the Reaper? Come on, he's all warmed up for you. Just one more.
I'll do it.
The audience went quiet, all staring at this newcomer. All right, now we're talking. You boys get accustomed while I get you a waiver. The sleazebag announcer strolled off to his office, a dimly lit corner sequestered in the corner of the underground room. Bruce scowled, staring the old man down.
You got a name?
Rex. The two men spoke under their breath.
You got a real name?
Not one that I can just give out.
I suppose I'll have to find it out for myself.
He wasn't sure what that was supposed to mean.
I've been watching you fight for some time now. This place is beneath you. Don't you want more than this?
What are you, a recruiter? Nick will kill you if he hears you trying to scalp his boys.
Not his boys. Just you. I'm not here for the hell of it. I entered because there's no other way I could have reached you.
Well, you might want to rethink that. I ain't exactly allowed to throw fights.
I have no intention of letting you.
The old man stripped his tank top off, revealing a powerful, toned body underneath.
At the very least, consider this an interview. It could prove to be a good opportunity for you. Your name in lights, free room and board, healthcare.
And if I turn it down?
Then you can spend the rest of your life underground, fighting drunks and licking your wounds.
The younger man wiped the cut on his cheek. The last fighter had done some damage, and it was still bleeding.
Think on it.
Bruce's boss returns with some papers and a pen. All right, I got your standard legal papers. You can't sue if you die, yada yada yada. Just sign here, Mr. He takes the pen and scribbles his name down.
Harvey.
That doesn't sound too scary. I got you covered. All right, fellas, the last fight of the night. Grandpa Gray is here to put Rex to bed. Bruce and Harvey both glare at the announcer. I got 200 on Grandpa. 50 on Bruce. No, 75. The announcer collects his bets while his fighters move to their corners. Bruce feels conflicted. Most fighters down here aren't really in any shape to be fighting. People come here because they have nowhere else to turn. Harvey's right. Bruce is overqualified for a place like this. Finding an illegal fighting ring is hard enough to do, let alone finding one that provides an actual challenge. Bruce is here 4, sometimes 5 nights a week, taping his knuckles up and breaking them over some poor sap's jaw. Between that and working out at the gym, he's barely able to make rent on time. At least he has a home, a community. He should be grateful for that. Confined in his dingy, dirty, and cement prison, hiding his life away from everyone on the surface, he is among his own kind. Big, dumb, violent brutes. That's all he is. That's all he knows, and that's all he will ever be. And now some stranger comes down and offers him an out? It's too much to bear. You boys ready? The two men glanced at the announcer, then went back to staring at each other. Let's get it on! You fought the commissioner? Yep, a few years back. My first introduction to Fang. I thought that he was just a stuffy old piece of shit in a suit. No, Zan. The man knows how to fight. Does he do it well? Zan. He fucked me up. Rankest cheers erupted from the crowd of men surrounding the ring. They couldn't believe what they had seen. Rex, the undefeated champion, felled in only a few minutes. It wasn't just a victory. It was hardly a fight at all. A landslide, a complete demolishment of the man untouched by hundreds before him. Bruce tried to get up, broken, bleeding, and barely breathing. Harvey stood to the side, aiming his icy glare at his opponent, both inviting and threatening Bruce to get up for another round. The crowd's roars wouldn't die down, not while Bruce failed to return to standing. Cries of cheating, rigging the match, stealing their money, drugging the champion. Not that Bruce could hear any of it. His head was pounding, vision blurred, nose bleeding. No, broken, by the looks of it. His ribs, too, probably. He's choking on his own blood. Nobody bothered to help him after he dropped. Bruce fights through the pain, the daze, the confusion, the misery, and hacks up a load of blood, making sure to breathe through his mouth. His attempt to prop himself up on all fours fails quickly, the beast collapsing in his own puddle of blood. The crowd goes wild. Harvey says nothing, simply staring into the crowd as the announcer raises his taped-up fist in the air, basking in his victory. Bruce stops scratching at his arm. It was a wake-up call. I was a big fish in a little pond, knocking heads for scraps and pennies, all while there was a whole world that I couldn't even consider. I mean, Fang's been around for a while. Of course, but come on. Do you really think that some dirt-poor dad-murdering dropout like me could ever hope to amount to shit? I just sorta gave up. I was taking scraps because that's all I deserved. But Harvey, I don't know. He saw something in me. And it was the first time that I felt like I'd been seen in a long time. All those freaks in the crowd, they didn't see me. They saw Rex. They saw a big, stupid, mean monster. Harvey saw that I had skill, potential. So he helped me out. Gave me a place to stay, free room, free food. All that I had to do was show up and fight people. And I was already good at that, so becoming champion just sort of happened naturally. Shit, no, not. That that makes me sound like an asshole. I always feel like I never earned it, like I never worked hard enough for it. Was just in the right place at the right time. He looks ashamed. But yeah, that's my story. The commish, Harvey, pulled me out of a shit life and gave me this new one. A better life. Not even sure if I can call it that anymore, though. It's the same shit, different coat of paint. I'm still trapped underground. I'm still fighting men that don't stand a chance. No offense. None taken. I still make a fraction of what I'm worth. At least a fraction of the money that we rake in, all while my boss keeps the rest of it for himself. Only difference is that it's the legality. Now I don't have to hide who I am. But you still do. I mean, you spent the last few months making a scene whenever we were in the same room. And you always played up that big mean monster persona in our fights. I had to keep up appearances. So you're still hiding who you are. Come on, Bruce. This isn't you. And you know that. You always talk about how much you hate being a big dumb monster, but that's all anyone knows you as. Because I have to. He yells the words, and I take a second to breathe. He's not angry or aggressive, just sad. It's all I have. I can either scare people off or I can pretend that I'm not some weird lonely freak who's trying too hard. And I didn't want to look as desperate as I was. So I figured that if everyone was going to be scared of me, no matter what I do, I might as well own it. Lean into it. At least, now I can control how they hate me, how much they respect me. Guess that's kind of fucked up when I say it out loud, huh? Horror said that I needed to be tough. These people are ruthless, dangerous, so I try to beat them at their own game. When they all look at me like I'm going to kill them, it felt so right. It felt like I belonged. Bruce is crying. He grips his wrist and squeezes. Looks like it hurts. But I'm so fucking sick and tired of feeling like this. And I don't know how to stop. I'm sorry. I had no idea you were hiding so much. It's better this way. None of these people need to know who I am. Some stupid, broken, gay freak. I mean, shit, I can't even do that part right. What part? He shudders. I have to stop him from clawing up his arm. The gay part. I'm Ace Zan. Oh. Every guy that I've tried being with wants something from me. I could never make it happen. They tell me that it's all fine, that I'll get used to it. Then when I can't, they get pissed and leave, and then I'm alone again. Rinse and repeat. Bruce sighs and puts his face in his hands. Sorry, that was too much. No, it's fine. I'm just tired. I'm tired of feeling like a failure. I let my mom down. I'm letting you down. I'm letting Harvey down. I let Red down. God, did I ever fuck up with Red? I fucked it up bad, Zan. Had so many chances to do it right. He's been the one light at the end of this fucking tunnel. And now? Bruce hunkers over, sobbing. I might not get the chance to tell him that I love him. My heart stops beating. He's always tried so hard to know me. He doesn't care that I'm gay. He didn't care that I'm Ace. I never thought that kind of guy existed. And he's here. He's been here this whole fucking time, right in front of me. I was too busy pretending to be an asshole to protect my stupid fucking ego. He stops speaking. There's nothing left to say. I sit next to Bruce as he cries. After a few seconds, I pull him against my shoulder. This is one of those situations where this isn't about you, and you want to be supportive, but you also... Xander, in his own head, in his own thoughts, has said that he loves Redline. But it was obvious that Bruce also liked Redline. Like, You're saying like, well, how was it obvious? It was obvious because these two already had something going on, I guess you could say. Um, by these two, I mean Red and Bruce. You know what? At this point in the video, tell me what you would pick. Would you be supportive and tell Bruce, like, you can tell him later, he's all right or whatever, or would you also tell him, well, I love Red too. We all love Red. Mm. Unfortunately, at this point, for me at least, you would have to say be supportive. Well, you would pick to be supportive, I mean. Because again, this situation, what's going on right now, is not about you. It is not about trying to lay claim to Redline. This is about being supportive to somebody who is obviously hurting at the moment. So, yeah. And ultimately, it's up to Red whether or not, he gets with either of these two. I love Redline too, but now is not the time to bring that up. I know what you mean. Red's amazing. And I'm sure he's going to pull through this. And you'll be able to tell him. And take a deep breath and let it out. Tell him everything you need to. Without warning, I'm pulled into a hug. Bruce's face leans into my chest, and I do my best to wrap my arms around his broad back in return. His breath is shaky. He'd probably be crying, but I think that we're both all cried out at this point. I'll tell him everything. I never want to keep anything from him anymore. You and me both. We owe a lot to Redline. When he pulls through. Let's do something nice for him. Maybe get him something nice, like a water bottle. He lets out a soft chuckle between his sniffles. He's crazy about those things. I don't think that we'd have to try very hard to make him happy. All the more reason to really do something nice. Make up for lost time. Make up for everything. I don't think that there's anything we can do to make this better. But we have to do something. We have to make sure that this doesn't ever happen again. How would we do that? Talking to Harvey would be the first step, but he's out for a week. Just in time for our fight. He sighs. Yeah, that too. Bruce takes in a breath and lets it out. His hands reach to mine, and he cuffs my wrist. It's firm, but he's not hurting me. I watch as Bruce looks around his room, then looks to the ceiling, closing his eyes. His thumb caresses my wrist. It's slow, tender, scared. Okay. I know what we can do. You strangled him. I did. I'm fine, Drayden. You. Bruce and I are seated in Drayden's office. I spent the night in Bruce's apartment. It was late, and we both agreed that we didn't want to be alone after watching what happened to Redline. I know how it sounds. I lost control, Drayden. I don't have an excuse for what I did. I acted out after emotions ran high, and I hurt Xander. Okay. And I'm telling you this to own up for my actions. Do you need to run any tests or scans on him? Make sure that his throat is all normal? Drayden makes an annoyed sound. Ideally, we would have done that last night, immediately after you strangled Xander. Drayden. So waiting half a day before coming to me was not just irresponsible, but incredibly dangerous. Right. I will be writing this up and reporting you to the commissioner. Understood. Though, he is out of town for a week. That. Damn it. Fine. Whatever. Are you okay, Xander? I was shaken up, but I feel fine now. It stung for a little bit after, I guess. He didn't really strangle me for long. Drayden holds his temple with his fingers. That doesn't make it any better, Xander. Bruce. Yeah? I'm signing you up for mandatory anger management courses. Thank you. I don't ever want something like this to happen again. Drayden stops writing for a second, then continues writing. Could I, get some therapy sessions too? I know it won't fix everything, but it seems to have helped Zan and Red, so... Of course, Bruce. I will be happy to schedule you in for some sessions. I'll give you a call after this to set something up. Is there any more assault that I should be made aware of? No. There was a beat of silence, then Bruce speaks up. How is he? Drayden looks down. He's stable. That's good, right? Yes, it is good. He's alive. So why are you acting like he's dead? He sustained a lot of damage. He might lose a lot of mobility. He definitely lost vision, at least in one eye. I'm starting to feel dizzy again. I don't want to think about this. But I have to know. But he is alive. And he's going to need some time to rest and recover. And the medicine is working, but he needs time. The amount that we have to use to keep him afloat induces a pretty deep sleep, so he's in a coma. Medically induced, yes. A claw tears through the fabric lining Bruce's armrest. He looks embarrassed. Thank you. Of course. And thank Kane, the surgeon. If you see him, he is a miracle worker, I swear. I will. We sit in silence for a few seconds and Drayden speaks up. Xander, if I could, speak to you privately for a moment. What about? Bruce. Someone knocks on the door and Bucky leans inside. Hey. Oh, sorry, was I interrupting? No, I was hoping that you could be here. Should I leave? I think in the best interest of Xander's safety, yes. He didn't. The champ shakes his head, standing and stepping towards the door. No, I get it. It's fine. I'll see you later then. Yeah. With Bruce gone, Bucky stands in front of the door, his arms crossed. So, what happened? I sigh. Bruce strangled me last night? Yeah, I heard. Was there any more to the story, or was he just doing that for the hell of it? We went back up to his room after Redline's fight. I said something that set him off, and he snapped and attacked me. It was only for a few seconds, and I feel fine now. I already spoke to him about anger management, and then he offered to have some therapy with me. Normally, something like this gets reported immediately, but the only one with firing power is the commissioner. Don't we have an HR department? Well, yeah, we do. But for Bruce, everything has to go through the boss. Wait, you're going to fire Bruce? They both look at me like I'm crazy. Okay, maybe it was a stupid question. Xander, he assaulted you. Like, not even just a little petty scrap. He could have killed you. But he didn't. How kind of him. I mean, you're right, it was dangerous. But how is this any different than the fight that we're doing in the arena? Because that's sanctioned. Is it legal? Is Cole getting in any trouble for what he did to Redline? Their silence is satisfying, disheartening, a little bit of both. Of course he is. He went too far. Then where is he? We can't find him. What the fuck? He's just gone? Well, no, he was taken out of the arena by the guards and then. Yeah, he's just gone. I can't get a straight answer out of any of the guards. None of the coaches have any idea, and with the commissioner out. Bucky sighs and drops into a chair, holding his head. I feel like I'm going crazy, Xander. I didn't see it before, but it's clear now that he's exhausted. His hair and his fur are messy, the bags under his eyes have gone dark, and now he's dropped that casual vibe that he always carries. Redline almost got killed last night, and nobody can tell me anything. And now you're getting strangled by the champion, and I'm just lost. I was supposed to train you both up. I was supposed to make you able to defend yourselves. Drayden and I wait while he takes time to breathe, clearly on the verge of tears. I'm sorry. I reach an arm across his shoulder and he shakes his head. No. I'm sorry. I let this go too far. I knew this whole thing was wrong. I should have stepped in sooner. I should have said something. I thought that I could just do my job and make you strong enough, but nothing could prepare you for this. He looks to me. So, I'm putting a stop to this. No more fighting with Bruce. When the commissioner gets back, we're doing whatever it takes to get you out here safely. That would have been nice to hear a few months ago, Bucky. You're right. You're absolutely right. I thought that I could just help you push through and everything would work out. I was scared of losing my job if I kept speaking up. But I'd give up anything to make sure that this never happens again. So no more fighting. When the commissioner comes back, we're marching in there and stopping this for good. But what else can we do? He's already threatened my job, and if you try anything, he'll just fire you. I don't care. Losing your job isn't going to change anything. And besides, we need you here. These men need a good positive influence, and you're the best coach that we have. Bucky swallows, looking away. Bruce already said that he won't hurt me, not in a fight. And last night was... Look, I know what happened. I know he hurt me. Tensions ran high, and I said something awful. I can forgive him for his actions without forgetting what he did to me. He's already carried a lot of guilt, clearly. Doubling down on it isn't going to help him. If you feel safe with him, then there's nothing that we can do to stop you from being around him. But just be careful. I will. He made a mistake last night. We both did. Granted, my mistake didn't involve strangling someone. But he's hurting a lot, and he's willing to put in the work so that he doesn't hurt others anymore. He wants to be better, for himself and for Redline. I turn to Bucky. Let me fight. One more fight. That's all we need. He takes a second to wipe his eyes. I don't want him hurting you anymore. I know, but... I'm pulled into a hug, the thick, strong arms of my coach begging me to provide support as he leans into me. His breath hangs in the air for a second. Please. Please let me protect you. I pull him close, nestling my head into his neck. Thank you, Bucky. But I can defend myself now. And I definitely wouldn't have survived this long if it wasn't for you. He starts to break. I'm sorry, Xander. It's okay. You believed in me. But I need you to believe in me for one more fight. Bucky! The massive arms binding me start crushing me instead, my smaller body completely overpowered as he pulls me closer. Anything you need, I'll do it for you. I'm following your lead. The hug breaks and I can finally breathe again. It sounds like we got our work cut out for us. So, you two have a fight to get ready for, and Bruce and I have some meetings. Are you gonna need anyone here for those anger management thingies? Well, normally we have security nearby for those sessions, but I have a feeling that we won't need one. Xander trusts him, so I do too. I appreciate that, Drayden. He smiles and nods. Let's get to work. This is actually where I'm gonna leave it for today. So, we got to learn a little bit about Bruce, and we learned that he did not have a very good childhood. Similar to Xander and probably Redline, um, their their parents failed them. In Bruce's, um, for Bruce, it was his father who was physically abusive and probably, mentally abusive too, but it seemed physically abusive. Um, we saw that Bruce, obviously, like Xander and Redline, was of the LGBTQ persuasion. Not only that, but he's also Ace. So yay, another Ace character. Um, we got to see how Bruce developed the way he did, and because I'm recording this after the fact of me having finished recording the whole thing, as I state in the next video, a lot of what you could say is Bruce's strength in fighting comes from anger and from hate and from self-loathing, which is coming from shame. The shame of being who he is, of feeling himself to be too weak to have protected his mother, and from not having stood up to his father sooner, and for having inadvertently killed him when he did. Like, say what you want to say, but like, let's use Xander's perspective and people like him. When you go no contact with your parents, you don't do it because, it's like the fun thing to do. Like, yeah, it's easy. No, it's gonna be one of the hardest things you do, because they are your parent, and no matter how badly they hurt you, and no matter how easier you can breathe now that you are no contact with them, it's still going no contact with your parent. It's still a very big, very emotional, very devastating thing to do. So, yeah, having no father and having your mother there, but she is no longer, you're no longer speaking with her because of what happened. My God, there's dogs barking in the background. Anyways, having that happened, it messed up Bruce royally. And I'm pretty sure what the commissioner perceived as a strength, as Bruce being like the strongest fighter that he's ever seen, is not so much that he's the strongest fighter. It's he's trying to fight out his anger and his shame, and as soon as you remove that, which is technically what Xander is kind of inadvertently doing, and what Drayden is probably going to do with Bruce, then what is left for him to fight with? Sort of like with Redline. Redline is kind of an example of a person that no longer wants to fight because he's just tired, like Bruce and basically Xander. That all of them are just tired and beaten and bruised, and the drive for them to fight is no longer there. And it's gonna be with Bruce's case, is if the shame, the anger, and all that other stuff that stemmed from his past is no longer there, then perhaps his drive to fight will no longer be there either. Like, he could probably fight and defend himself, but he's not going to be the powerhouse and the monster that the commissioner wants. Then again, not having that shame and everything else might also help somebody like Xander, who is being held back by that, who is fighting with only rage and shame and anger. Being able to not have those things hold you back may help him actually be a better fighter. But yeah, anyway, so, comments, write down what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Undefeated yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, and that should have a direct link for the itch.io page for Undefeated. Also, I forgot to do this. Thank you to Horrorbuns for doing the voice of the commissioner. So obviously you probably realize, like, wait a minute, that's not Nero voicing the commissioner. Nope, that is Horrorbuns. who you will know as the developer and writer of Clawstar Wrestling. So yeah. Anyway, so if you happen to like his voice, then leave something down in the comments and saying that like, oh wow, that's a good voice. I want to keep hearing you because he's gonna be the commissioner for the rest of Undefeated. I should have asked him a long time ago. Anyways, but yeah, so they do not have a methods of support Undefeated. So if you like the visual novel, leave a positive comment, 5-star review on their itch.io page, and telling them that this is a very good visual novel, and or go to Twitter if you happen to have access to Twitter, and tell them on their Undefeated VN Twitter page how much you like the visual novel. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.